love is in the air, y'all, on the Lord Bridge Farm. And I actually have a visiting buck here. This buck, his name is Goose. And Goose is from my sister-in-law's farm over at Willful Minis. He's here to do a little bit of genetic diversifying for me. He enjoys his job. I don't know how she feels about it. But so far, he's covered anywhere from 2 to 3 does for me without chicken, not including chicken hawk. Dude, did you get your first kill? Huh? Did you get your first kill? Did you protect your girls? Did you protect them? Oh yeah, you did. Oh brother, that's a big coon. All right. So what's going on here right now? If anybody's ever seen like ruminants go into heat, the does will run. They'll make the bucks chase them. They try to woo them. It's just a whole bunch of, it's just like a big stinky city dance. It's quite loud and crazy. So I'm probably gonna give them some, she's not quite receptive just yet, but she's like not trying to like 100% get out of this pen, because when they're not ready, like they'll do everything to get away from a pushy buck. And the only reason she's in here is because she was standing down by the buck pen. And usually when they visit that area of the field, it means they're either in heat or they're getting ready to go into heat. And Goose has been here since about Saturday. So today's Tuesday. He's been here for a few days working for me. And weird thing, like Chicken Hawk was in heat last week. I put her in with my new herd sire, Stiffler. And he's still just a little bit too young to know what to do. So I don't think that took. Apparently nothing went on, because here she is starting to short cycle. Now Goose is going to leave. I just can't with like don't look at the man behind the curtain, because he's stinky and he's trying to woo that lady. But she has short cycled, which means she's back into heat and she's getting ready to want the attentions of a man, and he's more than happy to give that to her. But she's playing hard to get, but you can hear it. He's working hard to woo the socks off of this one. She's saying she's not quite there yet, buddy, but if you keep persuading her, I'm assuming she'll become pretty receptive. And I actually have probably 2 to 3 girls that, like, when they're in heat or when they're ready to be bred, they kind of fight with the buck. Like, they're just kind of mean and hateful until the business has been settled and business cards have been exchanged and they're done with each other's services. So just to put it a little lightly and have lots of innuendos and analogies there, but it is definitely breeding season here on the farm, and we've bred, I want to say probably like 10 or 15 does already. I think I've got 10 more. I've got a lot of yearling does that are from this spring that are going to be chunky monkeys if I let them go all winter. They're definitely large enough and they're ready to be put in with a buck. I'm just giving a couple of my new herd sires. Yes, a couple. We've got Stiffler, but we've also got Take It Easy, which is actually half brother to Goose. He's out of Goose's mother, 'Cause I'm Easy, who is a wonderful, wonderful doe, bred by Fairland Farms, owned by my sister-in-law at Willful Minis. She scored a 90 at linear appraisals last year. She went to nationals this year and I believe placed 8th or 9th in her class at nationals, which were setting records for Nigerian dwarfs. So I was more than happy to make a trade on a doeling with my sister-in-law in order to bring Mr. Take It Easy here. So I think his barn name is going to be Taki or Takai, one of the two. Just taking that take it and then take the T off, and I'm like, I'm just gonna call you Taki. So right now, who we have in our buck pen, we actually have 5 bucks in our buck pen that are all going to be here. And Dexter's over here like wanting to show the bucks. So number 1 in the buck pen is Mr. Dexter, the Anatolian Shepherd. Then we have Lunar here. We have his son Tavor. There's a little tater tot or gravitational pull on his papers. He is a Pinky and an Isaac Newton out of our Z Acres son. Then we have Stiff Sniff, who's actually acting like he wants to do his job, but with the wrong... You need to do that with girls and not your boyfriend here. So Stiff Sniff is out of Agape's prize. He's got a very, very nice pedigree behind him. And here's our new boy here in his yellow collar. This is Take It Easy. He has an Easy and a Lunar son. So we're kind of diversifying a little bit while also making sure that we have lots of Lunar sons here. So we have a Lunar Easy son, unrelated to anybody here, a Pinky and Isaac son, Lunar himself, and then we have a Pinky and Lunar son. So I think this guy is probably going to be moved elsewhere. He's young, he's only a yearling buck, but he is an aggressive breeder and he really likes to run these guys wild. That's why you can see like our bucks, our young bucks are actually in like their own little pen where they can be fed and watered without being harassed by him. Not Lunar. Lunar's fine. Tavor really wants to harass them because he doesn't want to be low man on the totem pole out here with Lunar. And Dexter just rules everybody with an iron fist, and he's a good puppers, giving me the good paws. He's a good boy. Him is a good boy. Do you love your boys? Do you love your boys? Yes, you do, because you're a good boy. You're a good guardian, aren't you? Yes, you are. The reason that I brought in a couple more sires is because I've used Lunar so heavily. He's going to be related to a lot of my new up and coming does. So I have invested in a couple of new does. I have made some pretty large purchases this year when it comes to quality animals. And guys, my idea of quality is going to be different from your idea of quality. They're still going to be used for homesteading purposes. They're still going to be milk. They're going to go to shows. We're going to be doing milk testing with them. They are helping me expand my growing goat's milk soap business that I've started. So I am hoping to bring you guys some videos, especially this winter when I'm trapped indoors and there are no baby goats hitting the ground and there's just not really a lot to talk about, that I can bring you along on some new soap making adventures. But I'm excited to see the caliber of the kids that are going to be hitting the ground. Really excited, especially if I can get my Agape's prize buck up and moving, which you guys saw. He wanted to give Tater a little hug. I just need him to realize like Tater doesn't need all the hugs. The girls need the hugs and not Tater. Tater, he can hug Tater, it's just not going to be productive. It will be really productive with my girls out here, mostly because he does have national champions in his lineage pretty close. So I am really excited to have his genetics in my herd, and his genetics being thrown over. Sometimes his daughters or unrelated genetics give him more to breed in upcoming years, so that I'm kind of stacking quality on top of quality. That's just the way that we're kind of moving right now. But this does help me to figure out the direction I'm going and that my breeding choices are being impactful. When you're breeding, trying to breed up or to better anything, you always want the next generation to be an improvement on the prior generation. And this goes like across the board, like humans included. I want my daughter to be better than me in every single way that she can. I want her to be an improvement of me. But in going in a show ring, I really can see that. I really can see that he's making an impact when it comes to improving certain traits in my herd that were holding us back in prior years. So to be able to see that, also like when you're at a show, if you're showing and you want to know what your sire's doing, if they ever have specialty classes like Get of Sire, it's wonderful to take in your Get of Sire. Daughters out of it 2 to 3 different dams. Usually don't want to see them out of the exact same dam. But then this shows uniformity and conformation, and every specialty class that was Get of Sire that had some type of reflection on Lunar, like they were first or second, always. It was just kind of crazy to see, like, well, especially for myself, because when I pulled up some of these girls like next to one another that were out of Lunar that all had different moms, I was shocked. I was shocked to see the uniformity and that it was all improved over their dam. So I was like, jackpot. He's doing a really good job. So my man Stiffler is finally a working man. Yeah, oh boy. This is good though, guys, because for a while he just like wanted to just hug his friends, like in here. That's all he wanted to hug, but now he's into giving the ladies hugs, which is so good. But you can tell, like, the big mature bucks, Lunar has been the star of the show so far this year. So he is not all that happy about sharing his ladies. Tavor hasn't got a lot of action, so he knows to just stay up on the log. And then you got these guys that they both know what to do. So they know he's getting Tulip all to himself. I think this is a good pairing though. Did you not like it, Mighty? Did you not like how he was running? Okay, so I'm excited, guys. Mighty finally came back into heat today. It is November 7th. So that'll be putting us right at the very end of March for babies for her. But I'm excited because Stiffler, or Agape's Prize Stiff Sniff, has finally figured out that his job is to love the ladies and not on his friends. Mighty Mouse is just so pretty, huh, honey? Okay, you're just so pretty, and she has a beautiful udder. We're excited to see what the second freshening looks like, especially with Mr. Stiffler. I know you're feeling it, huh? You're feeling all crazy. I know. There's a lot of emotions going on here, but at least Stiffler is finally starting to figure out that he's supposed to love the ladies. I'm excited because I paid quite a bit for this buck so that he could sew in the genetics behind him. Now, Agape's Prize is a very well-known herd for Nigerian dwarf goats. They raise very, very wide, powerful, competitive dairy goats that can milk, that hold high, tight udders, great conformation, good feet. There's a reason why a lot of some of the national winners have either Agape's Prize behind them or they're out of the Agape's Prize barn. So we bought Stiffler in hopes of really upping our genetic pool. That's not to discount the other guys that we have back here. It is just total pandemonium. Hey, Dexter. See, Dexter is excited because he knows like one of his friends is out there. They're acting crazy. He's not, and Lunar's about to whomp him. Dexter, hey, Dexter, that's enough. That's enough. Go lay down somewhere. Because when these guys are fighting, Dexter's not supposed to be like in and amongst. He should just be getting out of the way. He's not here to play a peacemaker role to break them up or anything. He should be letting the goats do what the goats do. The only reason I would allow him to move them is if like it was literally to go address a threat. But anyways, back to what's happening down here, which I am going to start pushing her back this way. I don't like when they get out this way, just because there's a road that way. You never know. These ladies and gentlemen, I'm a buck hoarder, and most good breeders will be buck hoarders because we want to have that genetic diversity and enough bucks that are expressing good traits so that we can kind of pick and choose who we pair them with. We're not at AI breeding yet, but I'm very tempted to buy a tank and to start buying straws to widen that diversity even more. And the reason we do that too is so that we can have more, oh goodness, sorry, so that we can have more does for our current good bucks to breed and to keep bettering the Nigerian dwarf breed as a whole. That's the goal here. Milk and to better the breed as an entirety. I take it back. That was not the last adult doe I have to breed. I forgot about Miss Fairy here, and they've already done the dance and the package was delivered and body language says that all systems are go. And I do have one more yearling that will be coming into heat today or tomorrow. I've got her actually marked for tomorrow at day 21 after her last heat. And she's just I'm gonna pop her right in here. I have been using Lunar Howl very heavily. I love the daughters I'm getting off of him. I actually have my first daughter from him will be freshening here in a few weeks. I have lots of his other daughters that I will be freshening in the springtime. Hopefully Uzi will freshen in the springtime. I've used him heavily, but because I have such a nice buck with a nice pedigree and I paid a pretty penny for him, it's always like, and other breeders can probably agree with me. When you get new genetics, especially genetics that you may have paid a little extra for, you want to make sure that they get sewn into your herd as quickly as possible. Now, it is November 8th, and I got Mr. Stiffler here the last weekend of September, so he's been with us a little bit over a month, about a month and a half, and he just, like, on Sunday, last Sunday, it's Friday today, figured out that his job is to be a herd sire. So he's figuring it out after a little bit of time. So now basically anybody that comes into heat that is Lunar, or that I would love to make a daughter so that Lunar can stay and breed that daughter next year and keep improving and improve up. I'm putting Stiffler genetics in them. I want Mr. Stiff Smith from Agape's Prize to be a productive sire. I do have another buck down there that I'll be using, at least on 1 or 2 of my next juniors that come into heat. But for right now, it is the Stiffler show, and he is loving every minute of it.